Smart because you got something devious in your mind going on.
There you
Because
go.
you think you're so smooth.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so why don't we talk about what you did today for coding before we get started?
Okay, well, I did. What was it? Control flow?
Control flow and learn JavaScript on Codecademy.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do right now.
Hi, David. Yeah, I know I really liked how Code Academy broke down the if-else statements and the variables and stuff like that. It really added some structure to everything that you've been teaching me. So I think it really helped kind of set it in stone. Like I feel a lot more comfortable with if-else statements and else-if statements. So.
Alright, cool. So what we're gonna do next is, before we jump onto the whiteboard, is I'm going to explain to you what the point of a switch statement is, what it does, and then we're gonna have you just finish up converting your code here, and I'll help you with any places where you get stuck.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Now a switch statement. Let's go ahead and switch to this real quick. Switch to this. Alright. So. Oh, Bitcode, let it rain. Thank you, man. Thank you. Alright, so, good news, by the way. Do you want to tell them the good news today?
No, by all means.
It's your good news.
Yeah, but I'm sure it means more to you than it does to me.
My wonderful love of my life, mother of my cats, is re-entering the workforce, ladies and gentlemen. They said, we're not going to say who they is. They said that it could never happen. I said, one day she will be employed once again.
They said.
Once again, boys, we are a 2-income household. Tears of joy and relief. Anyhow, she starts tomorrow, right?
Yep.
All right.
Interview today at 11. And
Should I go pee in a cup not too long after that?
yeah, got a call at 3. Told I had to go do a drug test today or tomorrow. Today, preferably, so I did. And I got a job by the end of the day. Yay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so it's a big relief for us.
Yeah.
Mostly him.
Well, financially, it's going to open up a lot of things for us, because I'd been holding off on some endeavors that I was concerned are going to drain our resources and potentially make us homeless if they fail.
Yeah.
And now we have something to fall back onto. I also don't like being a 1-income household in case something changes, and when you take those risks, those endeavors, they may not pay off. I encourage everyone to take risks and things like that, but educated risks.
Yeah, educated risks. Like, if you're going to be stupid, at least be smart about it.
Yeah. So Bitcode asked me, what domain name did you buy? I bought 2 for my course. Did she get a dev job? No. This is a office job. It's got nothing to do with development.
Yeah, no, it's just so I used to be an executive assistant to a CEO at the university that I worked at previously in California. And just because I have 5 years already in that field of work, it would be far easier for me to get a job right now doing something in that field of work than it would be for me to try and find a job in something like that. So definitely in the future, get a dev job, but for right now, for relief sake, just doing this.
Yeah, continue studying and all that sort of stuff. Doing the same grind that I did, all you are doing as well, I would imagine. But anyhow, before we jump into this, I bought 2 URLs, Bitcode. One was coderscourse.com. This is, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm going to make like a $10 or $20 monthly course where I add stuff to it every month and I offer feedback and you get one-on-one sessions and things like that. I haven't figured out exactly how much I'm pricing it, but every month I plan on adding tutorials and things like that. But yeah, so that's one thing that I've been working on. And I bought coderscourse.com, and I also bought becomeacodinggod.com. I don't know which one I'm going with. I'm leaning towards becomeacodinggod.com, but I don't know yet. I've done some research about the platform I'm going to use and whatnot as well. So that's one thing that I'll be giving back, doing. So for those of you there's a few who have been donating, or those of you who have been Patreon subscribers, I am a believer of helping those out who have helped you. So I would imagine, since it's my fucking course, that people might get a free month or two. So anyhow, let's talk about switch statements. We've talked enough about... Yo, what is going on with those cats? I think Milo's attacking the treat bag.
Oh my god.
1 second. We got cat treats today because, for those of you who don't know, T-Mobile Tuesday,
Milo, what are you doing?
$7 off a $7 purchase at PetSmart. So we got $14 of free stuff, and Milo is breaking into the cat treat bags that we got right now on the couch. Did he open?
I'm just gonna give him some.
Yeah, give him some. Yeah, reward the bad behavior, baby. That's awesome.
Ooh, they smell good.
They're not for us, baby. Alright, come on, baby. Yeah, Coder's Course is an awesome name, but Become a Coding God has more personality and is something more that I would like to do. And I can make a theme. So, I like themes. I don't know what I'm doing. Hell, I might just do them both and make them the same course just so I could have 2 courses. Do something different on each one. Anyhow, yeah. So, do you remember anything about switch statements?
No, I just got to this.
Well, we went over this when we did the free code camp stuff. That's why I was asking.
I remember the name.
Okay. So, here's an example of a switch statement. A switch statement takes in a parameter and checks... Do I need to put this down?
No.
So a switch statement takes in a parameter, like so. In this case, grocery item is papaya. And then it writes a case, says, hey, in this case...
I remember the cases too. Was that part of the switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
So switches work with cases.
I really distinctly remember case.
Yes.
And the process
so
of case.
Essentially what's happening here is we're setting up if, else ifs, and an else. Except we're doing it in different formats. Some might say cleaner. And so we're saying, hey, is grocery item, in this case papaya, right? Is it tomato? No. So it doesn't run the code here. Is it lime? No. So it doesn't run the code here. Is it papaya? Yes, that's true. So it prints out papayas, and we break on every case statement to exit out of the switch.
I love it. I love it.
And then the default will, if everything else, that's kind of like our else. So these two are else ifs, and this is our if, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And so default will print out invalid item.
That's pretty cool.
Joshua, let me ask those questions towards the end, man. I'd be happy to dive into that.
Yeah, me too.
But I have very strong opinions about LinkedIn.
Ooh, really? I want to hear those.
Anyhow, okay, so essentially what's happening here is we're saying, hey, check this value. If it's this, if it's this, if it's this, if it else, it's this.
Right.
So how do we convert what's here to work here?
Right.
And they give you a little bit of hint. So we're going to stand up because I've been sitting all day.
Oh, I don't want to stand.
I want to.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Well, you're the one that's going to be typing and standing as well. So,
Well, you weren't standing in heels all day, were you?
How does that work all day? Stop hitting my six pack.
Oh, my hand is broken.
Yeah. All right, so.
Oh, my hand.
All right, so start converting this value here. So let's go over our if statement.
Okay, shh. Let me read this.
We just said what it does.
Yeah, well, I like to read. Oh, okay. Okay, so
You have any questions?
when it's asking me to make the moon phase, what is it called? The condition of the switch statement. Do I need to keep this variable up here? Because up here it has it. So do I write out, so I don't conform that into the switch statement? Sure.
What? I'm not sure what you're asking. Well, let's go. Wait, before you do anything, let's follow the instructions.
I can't handle your keyboard right now.
So let's jump down. Instruction 1.
That's what I'm asking you.
I'm gonna read it. Let's illustrate this by converting our werewolf program to a switch statement. For now, let's also delete the foggy night variable so it doesn't fog up this concept. So what do we? So why don't we start by deleting all?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Stop.
You have to delete
Stop.
other iterations of foggy night, baby. Look, there's one right here.
Okay, well, I will get to that.
No, we're doing it in order.
It didn't say that. There.
Hello, Kevin.
Okay, now what I'm asking you, it says moon phase will become the condition of the switch statement. Now, is it talking about this, or do I need to make a switch statement and put the condition moon phase?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was asking you. It's not that hard.
Fuck you up.
Sorry guys, I'm not used to this massive thing of a keyboard. Oh, should I put that down here? I got little tiny hands and I've always had little tiny keyboards. This thing is huge. Okay. Then each moon phase will become each case that the switchboard statement checks for. Start by writing a switch statement with moon phase as a condition.
So don't forget to set the scope for your switch statement. Okay.
But yeah. So this last one would go down here though, right?
Well, what you're doing right now is you need to write the cases. So each one of these cases is essentially saying, hey, check moon phase to be full, check moon phase to be mostly full, check moon phase to be mostly new, and then else.
Yeah, right.
So you're gonna start deleting this line by line.
Okay.
Now, what would be a faster way than typing this out? Maybe Control-C and things?
I don't know, is it?
It would be for me, but apparently my keyboard is for a giant, so...
I'm messing up just because it's so big. And I'm nervous. I'm typing in front of people. I've had an interview. I'm a little frazzled, okay? So apparently break goes here.
Now, why do we use break?
To exit out of the code.
Yep. I forgot you were coding God, baby. My bad.
Goddess. Let's get that gender right. Do you guys see how, like, antsy he gets when he's not doing nothing?
I'm just cleaning up. Well, you're not asking for my help. What do you want?
He's always like this.
Maybe I am.
Oh, I could have done. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Ta-da! Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Oh, this is not that. Default. Okay. Console log. And break. Ta-da!
All right, so fix your code. So, how am I doing, man? I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. Exhausted.
This is why. No comment. Let's see. Okay, let's illustrate by okay, moon phase will become a condition of the switch statement, then each
Okay, well,
start by writing a switch statement for the moon phase.
you're not even writing the correct syntax. So, like, that's the first thing.
This all needs to be...
What is... Wait, like, what...
I can't even do this right now. This, they don't even want this right now. That's what... How do I...
No, you've made several mistakes. So
okay, well...
Let's start from the top.
No. I'm trying to comment these out.
No. You don't need to comment it out. What you need to do is you need to understand that you have syntax errors.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a second.
Okay. Try running it now. Good. Now, where are the rest of our syntax errors? We can, I guess, scroll down and see what else they have to say. Scroll down. You pass that one? Oh my god. They let you pass this, those bastards. Alright, so you forgot a break for each one of the cases.
What?
Every case has to have a break.
Oh, snaps. Totally forgot about that. Good eye, Dylan. Good eye.
Fucking patronize me. Alright, so before we move on, explain to me what your switch statement does.
Okay. So it's taking my variable moon phase, which is now a condition,
Okay.
and it's taking that condition moon phase against all of my cases, which is full, and mostly no. And now my moon phase is set currently to full. Does that have an effect on a switch condition? The variable set is?
Well, what you're doing is the variable, you're checking that variable. So it has the condition where it checks.
So it does affect it.
It's checking that variable, and so you set a case to get that.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so it's taking that variable, and in each case it's saying, okay, full, yes. Okay, so console log how. Break out of it. Now, if it was saying, mostly full, then it would check, break, and then hit here, and then be like, okay, it's mostly full. Arms and legs getting higher.
It wouldn't hit the break. It would check. It would skip. It would then hit check this.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Okay. Alright, good.
Alright, good. Good.
No free code can't. What coding software? It's Codecademy. Okay.
Hey, everyone. Achilles says hi. Why are you like that?
Because he got stoned off of the catnip.
What?
Alright, so... Okay, so let's jump into functions. Let's review functions real quick. What do functions do and how they work?
Break on default is a bit silly but valid. Oh, good to know.
It's good convention to put break in there, Kevin. I'm not gonna... It's optional, but it's good convention.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but... Why confused?
It's not confusing. You're both saying the same thing in different words.
My words are better. Alright. So...
Oh, see? Having a break in case is also optional, Kevin says.
He's right. But it's usually considered better convention. Anyhow. Do you remember how to define a function?
Yeah, so... Ouch. Fucking someone leaves their shoes everywhere. Function, and then we give it a name.
Okay, so give it an example name.
Keyword. What are we doing now? What are we doing?
Right now I'm just having you define a function. We're not going to actually write it out. Give it two inputs as well. And then call it. Don't worry about the code inside of it.
I don't remember how to do two inputs. What do you mean?
Parameters?
Oh, so two parameters. Okay, so
how would we use that function? If we wanted to call it, how would we call it? How do we call functions?
You just write the name. I'm pretty sure there's something else, but I forget.
How do we assign attribute? How do we assign the arguments to become the parameters? How do we pass in and say this is 1 and this is 2? How do we do that in a function? No. Close. There's no equals. We're not assigning value. We're just calling. So you just do exactly what you had. And then
I'm getting it confused with if and else and stuff.
Yep. And then a semicolon. All this is saying all this is saying is run the function coin with parameter 1, 1, and parameter 2, 2. In this case, A and B. Okay?
Okay, so and in here you would put return, right?
Well, you could if that's what the point of the function was.
Oh, so you can write other stuff in here?
Yeah, you could just put console.log A and B if you don't want to actually send it back. Yeah.
Okay.
Return's just common because sometimes you use return quite a bit. Hannah Code says, are there methods in Java that are the same functions in JavaScript? Yeah. Some of them. I mean, they're not written identical, but yes, that's true. There are, and a lot of object-oriented languages or top-tier languages in general, you can do a lot of the same things. For instance, there are strings in Java, there are strings in JavaScript. Now, there are numbers to a degree in Java, and there are numbers in JavaScript. Now, some of the functions, there's int in Java, there's float, there's double, and I'm probably leaving 1 or 2 out, but those are all numbers as well. And so they're different types of numbers, and long, that's another one. But they do have there are things that are similar, like parse int, parse string, stuff like that, that you can use.
Congrats on completing your random quote generator project. That sounds cool.
Okay, so what's the point of writing a function?
To assess the parameter,
Why do functions exist, I should say?
Oh.
Functions are a thing because they store blocks of code we can run as many times as we need.
Oh. Damn it. I knew that.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, so functions are reusable code. Isn't all code reusable?
No. So say we have no functions, and all it does is run our code. Well, the thing is no, just no.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Because you can reuse the code one time all the time. But say we want to add a number. It doesn't know where to go to re-add it every single time. So here we define a location, and we define a storage essentially. And we say, hey, that add, how do you know what to add? Well, add is a function. We run the function. That's
okay, so in regular code, what you're saying is, so like an if-else statement, that code is going to have to be run through every single time after every input. Stop.
No, not necessarily. It's more complex than that.
Right, but hold on a second. You fucked it up. Okay, so my other part is for a function, because you can call a function, it can just drop down to the function that it needs to run this call.
Exactly. So you call a function. Let's say you click add on the screen, and we set it up to call this function coin. it's calling it, and then it's
It
running
will
the
only
code that's
run this code.
yes.
So it's a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, a little bit more efficient. Say it runs all your code, it's a lot more efficient, and it may fuck up what you're actually trying to do. Let's say your subtract logic is above your add logic. It's going to do 1 minus 2 before it does 1 plus 2.
Right.
Okay, so we had some good questions. We are on day 22. Hannah Coates asks about the random quote machine. The reason that we use math.float and math.random, if I remember correctly, is that the way that I did the random quote machine, we were generating a random number between 0 and whatever it was.
150.
Well, I don't know. Do you remember how many quotes I had?
For what?
The math.random. So anyhow, you get some random quote. You have an array of random quotes. And what we're doing is we're generating randomly an index. So if you just do math.random, it generates a number between 0 and 1 to like 12 decimal places. But instead what we want to do is we want to generate a number. Let's say I went up to 10 random quotes that I got and I wanted to choose one at random. You would then generate a number between 0 and 10 and then choose one at random. That's why you use math.floor, math.random, and the random quote machine. You want to generate randomly the index of the array of quotes. Anyhow, so any questions about functions before we move on to the function section?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Did you want to read this description about functions?
Yes.
Okay. The random number doesn't assign a number. It retrieves a number. So you already have an array of 10 values in there. And so you're generating the index number you're going to choose out of those 10 values.
God, you could teach a machine how to cook. This is great.
That's essentially what they say. Functions are recipes.
Yeah. That makes it really easy to understand. For me, anyway. We could just build a body and then instruct it to, identify ingredients and then cook.
I'm not going to VidCon this year because I can't afford the plane ticket home. But next year, I'm going to VidCon, guys. I hope you meet me out there. And I'm going to be the guy walking around with an essential oil diffuser on his shoulder. You'll know me. I'll have one on each shoulder, like pads.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, are you ready to take a stab at it?
Okay.
All right, let's give it a shot. So, how does this code work here?
How does this code work?
So, tell me what's going on when we look at this. So, start from the top. What's happening?
Okay, well, obviously for the first line we have a variable with calculator on equals false. So
Which is what type of variable?
Boolean.
Boolean, yes.
Boolean.
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 Fine, go ahead and say that. Sound like a...
What is it? Boolean?
Boolean.
Boolean?
Not Boolean. Boolean.
Boolean.
Stop looking at the chat and focus.
I'm not looking at the chat. I was looking at you through the thingy. Okay, so, and then we have a function. This is our function. Press power button is...
Is it taking any parameters?
No, it's not taking in a parameter.
Okay.
So inside our function, we have a if statement and an else statement. And our if statement has our variable calculator on. And It's not set to anything. It's just on. And so the consult log, which is going to print out calculator turning off. Interesting. So then it has this. So what is that?
What's the if statement saying when it's just the one value in there?
I don't know. What does it say?
So it's saying if true. Now that means it could, if it has a value or it's not equal, the value isn't false. That's what that if statement is saying.
So if true, which it's not because it's false.
Yes. Or so if it didn't
Print
exist at all.
calculator turning off. Yeah. What?
Okay.
So that's weird. Why would the on be false?
Because if the calculator is on,
Mm-hmm.
you want to turn it off.
So they're using the same button for on and off.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what's this one do right here? What is this for?
It's saying if it's not on, if it's not true, it must be false. Thus, we're turning the calculator on, and we're then going to set it to true.
So putting this variable in there as equal to false turns it back on. Makes it true.
No, it's setting it to false. So
I know. I just asked you what this does.
So right now,
Sorry, I didn't mean it to come out like that.
you'll say, it's saying if this is true,
Okay.
run our code, right?
Right.
And so what we're saying is it's already turned on. So we are now, since we pressed the button, since we called
But it's
the
not
function,
already turned off. It's false. It's off.
I know, but that's why I would run the else. But if it was true, in the case
okay.
where it is
Okay.
true,
Okay.
we're turning it off because it's already powered on and we want to turn it off. So then we have to reset our variable to false so that it toggles back correctly. And so in the case that it says, hey, the first case is false, right? So this is false, meaning it's off.
Right.
So does it run this?
No.
So it hits the else and it says, hey, we're turning it on. Because it was false and now it's not. So we're turning it on. And this is how we turn it on, essentially. So when we call it the first time, we are turning it on, and we call it the second time, turning it off. We went over Free Code Camp. I went through the JS section. It didn't really seem to click, so now she's doing it on her own. And this is day 22 now. And we're making progress. Yeah. Alright,
Sorry for the PDA.
alright, so let's actually get an temp. I want you to, before we end here, I want to try and finish this page.
Okay. What do you mean?
So scroll up to the objective. So, imagine you work at a pizza restaurant and you want to write a JavaScript program to take orders so you don't have to write them out by hand. You can write a function to perform this task. Start by writing a function named takeOrder. Inside of its block, or inside of its scope, you want it to print out order pizza.
Shouldn't we be setting a value?
No, that's not what it's asking.
I know.
So what are we naming our function? Now, y is what you have. Actually, I'll just let you go. No. Remember, we have to define our scope, our block, where the block of code is going to go. How do we define that? Good. And what do we want it to do? Okay, now why is that incorrect? You have a syntax error somewhere in there. Where do you have an error? No, that's right. Remember our functions, we always have those.
It's not saying that I have a syntax error.
Well, you don't have a syntax error. You have an instruction error, meaning that you didn't type something properly. So I guess it would be a logic error. So what is different? There you go. Good job.
Every time I see the little thing spin over here, I'm like,
That's how it is when you run your code at work. It's on a larger level. You're like, God, please work.
Yes, you're not gasping for air, you're praying.
Yeah. I've been watching Dragon Ball Super as well as Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia. All 3 great animes. I encourage you to watch all of them. How did you get the lady to learn to code? What's your secret? Long dick style. No. She just wanted to better her skill set, and I offered. I told her, hey, if I'm going to teach you how to code, we'll spend an hour a day for 100 days. And you'll need to code on your own. That's not going to be enough, but I'll spend 1 hour for 100 days straight, because the hardest thing, guys, is coding every day. But that was what I said. She has seen the success that I've had with recruiters and things like that reaching out to me, and that was enough to kind of get her going. All right, so do you think you can finish this next one out? This is using parameters. I think you can do it in 8 minutes. You shouldn't be getting the hand of it.
Okay. Okay, so here are the parameters that you were talking about as variables. We can call a function, for example. So for here, we have the function with the name and its parameter input number, right? That's the parameter?
That's the parameter.
Okay. And then for the console log, it's going to put input number times 13, which is interesting. And multiply by 13, 9.
Alright, so you understand that. Let's look at the instructions.
Let's include a parameter in the take order function to make the orders we log to the console more descriptive. Inside parentheses of the take order function, add a parameter named topping. This is kind of like Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Stuff. You know what's funny is as I was going through all of this, I was starting to understand how people made those like random generators for I know your personality type or we can guess your age, you know, like I think it was funny.
Alright, so where do we actually put the parameter when we in the setup, right? You put the value you're passing.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. I was seeing it and I was like, that doesn't look great, and I couldn't.
So wait. Okay, that's fine. So now.
Let's include the topping parameter inside the take order function. Okay. So modify the console log to interpolate the topping parameter to print a string like this. What?
What that's saying is we want you to have, when we print out using the parameter, to say pizza topped with
bacon.
So take order is going to take in what? Our topping parameter. So how do we pass in the parameter bacon to take order?
bacon here.
Yeah.
But I have to change the
console log. So how
the
do we
console log here.
how do we make it dynamic so that it says, regardless if it's bacon or pepperoni or whatever, it says pizza topped with topping, the
Right.
topping value. So how do we do that? How do we change our string to look like that?
Okay. So order pizza topped with, and then take order.
No. You need to use your parameter. How do we use the parameter? That's your function. Parameter is part of the function, so you don't need to call.
Okay, so this would be topping.
Okay.
And I forget. Does this get quotes on the end?
No.
Okay. That's it, right? That's how
You get
end
rid of
it.
the plus. That plus doesn't do anything. We can give you
Oh,
an
that's with another
And then
string.
how do we pass in an argument? And why is that incorrect?
Because obviously that's not how you pass in a argument.
Well, how do you pass in a string? You need to pass in a string. You were passing in a variable called bacon. Alright, and you have a very small syntax mistake. Let's see if you can find it. Not syntax, you have a very small logic mistake in terms of formatting. No. I'll give you a hint. It's in your console log.
Are you talking about this?
No. You can use either.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't you run your code and see what comes out? So is that the same thing? What does it print out?
Oh shit.
Good job. Alright, click next and we'll continue on that section tomorrow.
Did I break it?
No, I don't know what the hell you just did. Alright guys, some of you asked some questions earlier. I don't remember what it was about. It had something to do with LinkedIn. As always, you've been here on this is day 22 of our, they'll retype it if it's important.
Well, give us your thoughts on LinkedIn.
So, as always, I appreciate you guys being here. We're day 22. April starts work tomorrow, and she'll be here after her first day at work, and we will be continuing on the coding grind. Some of you may have felt that it was a little unfair. She was learning coding and not working, and so maybe her grind wasn't as hard, but everyone's got a different grind.
Whoa, yeah?
Just saying.
Alright, mother effers.
But I think you'll see now that she's working, she's going to continue on. And we've kind of built the habit, or we're in the process of building a habit. In 100 days, we'll definitely have a habit. I think that what you're seeing in the last 2 days is a lot of growth. Gathering, doing a much better job on the functions and those sorts of things. It's definitely going to be a process to get her where we need to get her, but takes as long as it takes, I guess. My goal was for her to kind of start algorithms by day 30, but I think that might have been a little bit unrealistic. So I'm pushing that back to day
50.
Day 50?
I think I can get there. Day 50.
Day 50? All right. Day 50. And that's just 28 days away. If she can start solving the basic algorithms on her own at day 50, I would be fairly happy.
Fairly. Just fairly.
Joshua Jarek asks, should high school students start setting up their LinkedIn for the college admission process? This is my thoughts about this. LinkedIn does nothing but help you. And so why wouldn't you? Like, will it affect every single college admissions process? No. Could it? Yes. And because of that, you should take the time, the 2-3 hours it takes to set up your application, to look as professional as possible, to showcase your skills in any way possible, to showcase your certificates, to showcase your clubs, to showcase your projects. You should have your LinkedIn. Because you know who probably doesn't have a LinkedIn? All the other people you're competing against. And this will make you different. And if it does make the difference, or it helps a little bit, it was worth your time, man. And that's the thing is, it doesn't hurt you. It only helps you. It's either neutral or helps you in the situation, so you should do it.
So when you're applying to colleges, first go to their application process and do all the basics that they require of you. Then set yourself apart by going up and beyond so that you stand out from the crowd. So don't forget your basics. Basics are always important, because if you can't read and follow instructions, guess what? All your outstanding achievements are going to look like, okay, this guy just kind of does what he wants, and it's up to them to, make that call. But you don't want to give them a reason to even doubt the fact that they don't want you, or to make sure that they do.
That's not a bad idea, Kevin, for her to maybe at the end of the 100 days try to go into being a sort of a Scrum manager or project manager sort of thing. It might be an easier role to land as someone trying to get their foot in the door. And
what's a Scrum Master?
So in software there's something called Agile. And what that is it is essentially the principles by which you code software. And so in that, there are several things like Scrum. Scrum is essentially kind of like a project manager. Usually it goes hand in hand. But you do things like every morning for 10-15 minutes, your team gets together and you'll say, what are you working on? Who needs help? Blah, blah, blah. And so typically you'll have those morning reviews, and then you'll have longer usually the average Scrum is, or the average, God, I'm forgetting the terms, but the average cycle is 2 weeks. And so at the end of that, you do like a you'll do code review at the end of the day typically. The Scrum Master will help assist with that, but you'll do a the cycle review at the end of the 2 weeks as well. Do that, and you help basically facilitate, make sure that tickets are going to certain people, and who needs help gets the help, who doesn't need help. And it's basically your job to make sure that the team is running efficiently, and the team is running efficiently and to the best of their ability, and that tickets are getting done and things like that. And so the Scrum Master is kind of, and sometimes you'll get requirements and things of that nature, but the Scrum Master essentially does that. And so it's a crucial part of large software teams. On a smaller team like mine, we don't really have one, but when you have 10 developers, 5 developers, 20 developers, you might start seeing Scrum Masters and things like that. It's very similar to project management, and it's something that you can make good money in as well. Near as good as a developer. You could make the same amount of money I am right now doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Gus.
Shouldn't that be a job for the person that knows the most? No. This is actually a people person job. This is for someone who is very detail oriented and can see the weaknesses and the strengths of the team.
I can do that!
And see how to improve them.
I'm really good at that. It's kind of what I did for my last job.
And so it helps that you have a software background. But the last company I was at had a Scrum Master who was very good. You have to have a strong personality at times. And she was very good, very confident, and handled everything very well in that factor. And she did a great job. She didn't really know software at all. But you basically make sure you there'll be
make sure that your team meets its deadlines and requirements.
Stuff like that. So there'll be like a ticketing system that shows, and it'll help that you know software. It's more. It is more of a management sort of position and a people management position. But it's definitely something that you could maybe become that you might be able a good role for you maybe at 100 days from now, and you can get certification.
So it's called a Scrum Master.
Scrum Master, and you can get certifications and things like this. But
that's cool.
Yeah, have I seen the show Silicon Valley? I have, but not this season if it's out even yet. So I haven't seen the newest season. But yeah, so Scrum Master is also very important.
And be a monster, sort of. You don't need to be a monster.
I don't need...
You just need to be able to have...
You need to be able to push back. That's all.
No, you need to be able to stand your... I have a different way of dealing with people than Dylan does, so we're always going to have a difference of opinion when it comes to managing people.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Look at my teeth. I need to get enlightened when these things are off.
You don't want to see your teeth that close.
Yeah, they do. They've been looking at my gap tooth teeth for like 2 years. They're ready to see some straight ones.
Hi, Jordan.
Good day, sir. All right. So that was our live stream. What we accomplished today was pretty good. We'll continue on with it tomorrow. Your goal will be, when you get home from work, to finish the function section. Let's see.
God, that's going to be late.
Yeah, it is. I'll have dinner made.
What, mac and cheese?
Don't you worry about if it's mac and cheese or not, but I'll have something made. And, you don't want me to cook?
No, cook, please. I'd much rather be cooked for. I don't care if I fucking burn the shit out of it. Boy, I'll eat it just as happily as ever.
Jake Nielsen asks, this will be the final question before we get out here. Dylan, did you learn coding all on Free Code Camp? How long have you been coding for? I learned web development through Codecademy and Free Code Camp. I
got a job.
I have... So Jake Nielsen, all these questions I've answered in videos in more detail. So when I knew you're ready to get a job, that's in the Ask a Dev videos. But one thing is that I have I learned web development all online on my own resources. But I was a computer science student, and I had been studying Java in college. So that was when that is how I initially learned to code. Although I wasn't very good, to be honest with you. I got much better once I started learning on my own through Codecademy, Free Code Camp, and videos and things like that, and started just coding daily. But that's how I got much better. But in terms of when to know you're ready, it's when you can start building projects on your own. I go into much more detail in the Ask a Dev videos. Yeah, get this stuff done.
Thank you.
They ain't gonna be bullshitting me, man, about a project taking 6 days when I know it's fucking 20 lines of code. All right, I'll be fucking striking fools down. I'll be like, bro, I was like, bro, you're gonna lie to the coding god like that? You're gonna lie?
I know all your code.
Yeah. No. April got a.
I got a I don't know if it's either office coordinator or office manager. I don't remember. It's office something.
Anyhow, guys, I appreciate you being here. This has been a journey, I will tell you that, and we're only 22% of the way there. We have 78% of the journey left to go.
Why do you say it like that?
It's 100 days.
78% left.
So, I'm excited to see where it goes because I think we've done okay for 22 days. I think maybe I had unrealistic expectations, but I think for where we are today.
Where were you at in 22 days?
I was stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was stressed out in college, hating life, saying,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this guy talking about?" So it was interesting. That's for sure. Thine, can I spend the night tonight and for 2 weeks straight? Hey, man, if you got the money.
You can rent a bedroom.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I appreciate you being here. You want the final thoughts? Final thoughts will come another time. I think I might do a series called Final Thoughts, where your boy is being very passionate and popping off.
Pop it off is such the right terminology for it.
I have a video for me popping off on college degrees the other day. It was 22 minutes of me screaming in anger and frustration about the
Let the pops begin.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable releasing it because I was like, I don't know, maybe I went a little too hard.
You should just start a series, popping off.
I would call it Final Thoughts.
Yeah.
That's what I always call him.
Yeah.
Jerry Springer. Although now, that blonde bimbo, Republican woman who just got fired, Tommy Lauren, does Final Thoughts. I don't want to be so.
Oh, she did. She did? Oh, she took that from you, huh?
She did. Actually, we both took it from Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. But thank you guys for watching. If you aren't already, make sure to join our Facebook group, Code Tech and Caffeine. Get all those great resources people are sharing on a daily basis. You get to see dope pictures like this. You get to see the coding god in his natural habitat. I'll show you some of the fun you guys are
I got
missing
in
out
real
on.
close and was able to get a shot for you guys so
Yeah, I'll
that
show-
you could see what the
if you want
type of animal looks like.
the shame. I'll show you. Let's see here. This is what the coding god in its natural habitat over here. So, anyhow, I totally. I was like, I literally have a mouthful of fucking macaroni when you took that photo.
I know.
But more than just funny photos and stuff like that, you get resources, Udemy courses, stuff like that. Stay up to date. Free.
It is a healthy meal, Rockpile. It's Annie's organic.
But anyhow, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, link is in the description. Join the Facebook group, Code Tech and Caffeine. And if you want to support me, I have a lot of ideas for my channel. I would love to be able to go to VidCon and things like that. And if you want to support me and you want to make sure that we're putting out the best content possible, you can at patreon.com/codingtutorials360. I appreciate you all being here. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm about to pop off right now. You wanna lead us out, baby?
Okay. Everyone, code long and prosper.